Hello friends, welcome to the MOOCs on Entrepreneurship Development. This is the last video of module number 3 and it is on finalization of the product selection. The contents of this video, there is a preliminary screening which is in two phases, phase 1 and phase 2. Then we have the pre-feasibility study followed by the feasibility study. Now, first is the preliminary screening and phase number 1. Now, we have to see if there is any restriction or shortage or other causes that can increase the production cost. Like for example, scarce skills or energy intensive enterprise or special materials, equipments, processes, technologies which may increase the cost of the enterprise. So, that you have to see depending upon your financing capabilities. The second is, are the capital requirements excessive? In case you need a lot of money for starting a business, and if it is a first business of yours, you are a first generation entrepreneur. So, probably it is better to go for a little less capital intensive business at the very start. Then see any environmental effects which are contrary to the government regulations. If the enterprise is creating lot of environmental let us say degradation or pollution, could be air pollution, water pollution, land pollution. So, that could be a problem. Then is the product consistent with the national policies, goals and the restrictions. So, we have certain national policies like the project should be let us say export oriented or import substitute, or it should generate employment, should be high tech, should be environmental friendly. So, if it is not consistent with those policies, then it is better to drop the idea. Is there any monopoly in the industry which restricts the supply entry of the new firms? So, sometimes we have a lot of people who are already well established, lot of like large scale companies, multinational companies who are already established and they have a monopoly. So, it would be better not to go into in that product. Then are there effectors that prevent the effective marketing of the products? So, sometimes you need a very extensive sales and distribution system, which you being a first generation entrepreneur with very limited resources may not be able to perform. So, that again a factor you have to see. Then will the project commit the human resources to unskilled low paid job? Sometimes we have a certain business in which we have the people who are are like paying very less money or employing children labor something like that. So, that is also not advisable. So, any yes to all these above questions we have to drop the idea, because for a first generation entrepreneur with very limited resources, it is advisable to go for a safer option at the very beginning. Once you are little already set up, you have experience, you can go for the other areas also. So, after the first phase of the preliminary screening, you may have a list of 10 to 12 products or the ideas, then we have to go for the second phase of the preliminary screening. Now, in the second phase, we have to go for the comparative evaluation of the product ideas. Any good product idea must meet the following 4 requirements. The first is an adequate present market, that means the demand should be there at present also. Then a predicted growth market, that means it should be in demand in future also. Competitive cost of production and distribution, and lastly low risk in factors related to the demand, price and cost. We will take them one by one. So, the first is the present market. So, the factors which affect the sales are the size of the market, products in relation to the need. If it is a need based product, it will definitely sell. If it is a luxury based product, it may or may not sell. Then the strength and the dominance of the competition. Then you have to see the quality price relationship, at what quality you want to offer, and accordingly the price will fluctuate depending on the quality, comparing with the competitive products. Then the service requirements, then availability of the sales and after sales this thing distribution systems, then export possibilities. The second is the market growth in the future I am talking of. So, the indicators are projected increase in the number of the potential customers. So, maybe in future you will have a large number of customers, because like the youth it may after some time they will need those specific products which you are thinking of manufacturing. The projected increase in the need. So, something which is a luxury for the people now, it may become a need after some time. Increase in the customer acceptance. So, something people are not accepting nowadays. So, they may start accepting after some time, like when we are having this houses initially so we did not have this attached bathrooms, we have separate bathrooms, but now people have accepted that there should be attached bathroom with every room. So, people keep on accepting the things later on. And then the newness of the product. The third factor was the cost. So, the factors which are likely to result in higher cost are the cost of the raw material inputs, the labor cost, distribution cost, selling cost, efficiency of the production processes, then service warranty and customer complaint cost, and then patents and the licenses. And the last is the risk. So, the possible effect of unfavorable future events on each of the venture ideas, like for example, the technology risk could be there, import competition can come anytime, quality and reliability risk, like for example, any unproven design, you take a design from let us say lab, you just want to experiment that into the market, it may fail. Demand forecasting, maybe you are very optimistic, you have a very, you think of very high demand, but it may not be that may be the case. Then legislations and control, they can come anytime and they can always benefit or they can always hamper your business also, and time required to generate the profits. Now, after both the phases of preliminary screening, you will have a list of 3 to 4 products or the ideas through the process of elimination. So, after that go for the pre-feasibility study. So, next is the pre-feasibility study. So, the purpose is whether the project seems to justify the detailed study, that is number 1, and then what matters deserves special attention in the detailed study. Like for example, maybe you want to focus more on the market analysis or you want to focus more on the technical feasibility or investment scores in the detailed study. So, that is the the purpose of going for the pre-feasibility study. So, what are the elements of the pre-feasibility study? The first is the product description, in which you have all the possible substitutes and the allied products. Then description of the market you have to give as a part of the pre-feasibility study. Then the outline of the technological variants, like for example, the labor, the quantity, special skills, etc., proximity to the market and raw materials, transportation facilities and the cost, water, power, like utilities, like the quantity, quality, restrictions, etc. Then we have to see the availability of the main production factors, the cost estimates, estimates of profit, which you can always have based on the other similar firms. Then other data such as the local attitude towards the industry, because sometimes you want to set up a business and the local people are not in favor of that business. Like we had a one of the businesses, this beef beef exporting this thing business, and the local people, they always they made a lot of protests, and then the person had to ultimately close that business. So, and then the educational, recreational and other infrastructure, availability of the local site for setting up an enterprise. So, these factors you have to see. So, how to get the information for the pre-feasibility study? You can go for the interviews with the sales people, they can give you a lot of information. You can interviews with the individuals in the government, you can have interviews with the potential purchasers, you can go for the literature search, you can see the state directories, the census data, industry associations, publications, etc. And pre-feasibility study is basically screening device. So, it may be discontinued at any point. At any point, if you think that this business is not going to be profitable or not going to be viable, you can drop that idea there and then only. Then last is the feasibility study, which is called as the business plan or a detailed project report. This is the in-depth study of the technical, financial, commercial and managerial areas, and we have a separate module on the business plan basically, which we will discuss there only. So, that is all regarding this selection of a product and how to finalize a certain product for a business. Thank you so much.